EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Brings up second and 8 at the 22-yard line.
From the 22, here's second and 8.
I got you. I got you. Check 37.
Now Prescott. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Myles Garrett, his second sack of the night.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Real. Hey, Delta.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Get out there. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check. I got one. Hey, kill. Hayward. You.
To try again after the sack. Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver up and downfield, and as it turned out, Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Good. Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike.
Prescott from the gun. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Myles Garrett bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. A big play that time for Cleveland. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. We're scoreless after 1. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Record. Under 10. 10. Pistol. Slam. Regular.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's Elliott. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, Elliott. Come get some.
Again to Elliott. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott steps away to his left. He can run for... Oh, Prescott stripped, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Bravo. Watch the pass.
Mayfield. Caught left side, it's Beckham. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. 77 yards, and the Browns have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. It's T.J. Carey who picked it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Hey, high 7.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
No. Hurry.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. It's a room to maneuver. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Regular. 54. Not today, you are.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Alert. Right there, 54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's go deep, tight. Let's go deep, tight.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Prescott. And an alley to run. Oh, Prescott stripped. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
53, check 53. What we got? What we got? What we got? Mike. Here we go, 47. Mike. Big stop, G.
On second down, Prescott again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Jeff Heath, the strong safety, able to get in there on the coverage.
Brings up second and 10.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check, 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 check.
Hurry, hurry.
Check, 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 check.
Hurry, hurry.
54 is Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. They get
Watch out.
Now Chubb running right. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
Set. 180. Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Let's go, defenses. Get out the
Pistol.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Watch out.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey, switch gears.
Hurry.
The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. He was brought down by Malik Collins. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch 54. Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Run. Hurry. Watch out.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got a man, complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 43 yards.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Mayfield on first down. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
54. Mike 54.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete. Rashard Higgins was the one he was looking for, but now it'll be 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Now he's going to go deep down the left side, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Prescott to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mike Popo.
There's a party now. There's a kill. Switch. Hey.
44.
Go. 26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hurry!
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming. I'm coming. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Ship. Watch out.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A run for Nick Chubb. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Hurry!
Check 24. Watch 24.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Protein spill.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Motion. Blood.
Regular. Hey, alert. Hey, Foxtrot. Greystone, travel. Watch out.
4th down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Here we go.
Check 53. Mike. Let's go.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Caught left side by Cobb. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd down.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go now with Olawale. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Hey, 47.
Let's go.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Myles Garrett in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He looked to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Myles Garrett, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Check three.
Hurry.
Check hot route. Hot.
Hurry.
Right there. 54 Mike. Come.
They begin this drive with Chubb. Gets past 1 man. And all the way down to the 29. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Hey, seam 6.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check out.
Mayfield to throw. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away.
Regular. Hey, exit.
Right there. 54 Mike. Hey, get in the weight room.
I got you.
Mayfield. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Well, no doubt an electrifying.